Hi everyone, this is Josh with Josh Wright Piano TV. Today's episode is about closed hand positions for more technical ease. It's kind of an awkward title, and I'll probably title it differently in the YouTube title. But a few years ago, I was playing Mendelssohn's Serious Variations, which is a gorgeous piece. And the very end one, it's been forever. Sorry, I've mostly forgotten it, but and I'm going to demonstrate with a different example here. So what I'm getting at is a closed hand position. I mean, there's debate about what it really is. Is 5 always on the top and 1 always on the bottom? I usually define a closed hand position as 1 on the bottom and then 4 or 5 on the top. Okay? I was teaching my little sister a lesson. She just entered her freshman year at the university, and I was just filling in for her teacher while she was away on a vacation. And some of these fingerings that were suggested by the editor she was doing, and it was causing her a lot of trouble. This is Schubert Impromptu, Opus 90, number 4. So how do we get our fingers to sound like that? One person I've always idolized is Murray Pariah. He's just so amazing at this light touch. I remember listening to his Mozart concerto when I was little, and the Chopin concerto, this passage in particular, F minor. And he had such a light way of touching the keys. We're going to address how to, first of all, lighten your touch, and most importantly, how to use these closed hand positions to help you. I want to show you the fingering that my sister originally brought. She's got nice long fingers, and she was able to reach all these positions quite easily. 3, 5, 3, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2. And it was pretty good, but it had these little blemishes in it. So what I did is we went over and we changed her fingering into closed hand positions by using chords. So this little thing, I used 2, 4, 2, 1, and I just blocked that as a chord. We're just going to practice blocking it. The next one is 3, 5, 3, 1. Okay, the next one is 2, 5, 2, 1. The next one is 2, 4, 2, 1. The next one is 3, 5, 3, 1. Okay, so 4, 2, 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 5, 3, 1, 4, 2. Let's just try getting used to that, and let's use a free hands technique that I have used in other videos, and also this up-down exercise. So the free hands is just releasing into a neutral position, and then the up-down exercise, you combine that and you throw your hand back down. Most students, what they do is they come up and then they get back down onto the keys slowly, so they have to kind of chop at the keys. If you go up, down, and land and wait, helps you gain a lot of ease. And it's ultimately going to help you with that. Okay, so now let's try breaking these up, and each figure, we're just going to do that. So all I was doing there is I was playing the position broken and then reinforcing it with a blocked chord. Okay, now let's try 2. And I'm not just playing them, I'm listening for how smooth and even and accurate they are. Okay, and then I'll probably take the one before that as well. And then, okay, now 3, and then we'll do the last 2. Okay, now just smooth. Okay, now again, I'm going really fast through this because I actually have never played this piece, but I've taught it so many times it's familiar in my hands. And so, listen. What about about another one? What about, let's take one that's a little different. Let's take it over here. Again, I'm going to use 2, 4, this is bar 39. 2, 4, 2, 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 3. The next one, 3, 5, 3, 1, 2, 5, 2, 1. Notice I always have 1 on the bottom. I still remember in that lesson with this amazing teacher, Sergei Babayan, he told me, Joshua, you are always using these open hand positions and it is getting so tight between positions. And so he would have me use a closed position. And this is a fact. I have pretty large hands. I have larger hands than any of my teachers have had, and sometimes they'll get mad at me if I'm playing like, you know, it's been a while since I played that Liszt Paganini Etude number 6. They're like, oh, I wish I could do that. But, I mean, it's such a small advantage. I mean, you can play a Liszt passage. Who cares? I get my butt whooped all the time by these girls who have tiny hands. So, so it doesn't matter at all, your hand size. It matters about how efficiently you use your hand. And no matter what your hand size is, whether it's enormous or whether it's tiny, you want to always try to keep the hand compact because it's the most natural position. If you're just hanging your hand by your side, it's going to have a natural curve to it. It's actually kind of a perfect curve. And if you want to get extra curve, pulling those in doesn't cause any extra tension. But doing that, you have to flex it or extend it. And doing that allows tension to set in. So that's why people often complain of getting tendonitis when they're playing like, or, you know, those pieces, because it's continuous strain. So whenever you're playing pieces like that, make sure that you take frequent breaks. Like every minute you take, you know, a 10 or 20 second break, or you practice some other passage. Now, having said that, let's take a look at more of this Schubert. I'm going to be somewhat sight reading, somewhat familiar with this. So what I'm going to do now to get that really light texture is I'm going to practice finger staccato. Again, finger staccato is not that. That's wrist staccato because you have movement, or even arm staccato where your whole arm's moving. You just want it in the fingers. Notice my wrist and my arm are stable. So combining that, that's going to take you a while to get used to if you're not used to already practicing this way. Combining that with the closed hand positions, your hand just moves freely down the keys. Now, if you notice certain parts are sticky, it means you're not releasing fast enough. And generally, the note that you're not releasing is the one that repeats itself. I've just noticed that throughout the years of teaching. So, release that one. 3, 5, 3, 1, 2, 5, 2, 1. Any note that repeats. Okay, so now let's put this all together. Oops. Take time for your key change. You get the point. It allows you freedom when your hand is compact and you're practicing that finger staccato exercise. I hope this video has been helpful. If you wouldn't mind sharing or liking this video, or both, I would be greatly honored and so appreciative of all of your help in supporting this video series. It truly is a joy to make these videos. I want to do these to spread these ideas that I just discovered during my teaching, or if I've had brilliant ideas given to me during lessons, because I feel like there's so much misinformation out there about what makes great piano technique. It's not this revolutionary thing. And some things seem revolutionary, and some things are, I guess, but it's usually simple tricks. One of my most amazing teachers was my teacher at the University of Michigan, Dr. Logan Skelton. He had such a way of being straightforward with everything. And same thing with my teacher here in Utah, Dr. Susan Duhlmeyer. They both had this way of, making things pretty straightforward and not fancy. It wasn't like, I've got all the secrets and tricks that are going to make you into a great pianist. It was these simple solutions. I remember going into a lesson with Dr. Skelton, and I said, what should my bench position be? I've always wondered this. I've always wondered how high my hand's above the keys. Like, probably just somewhere in the middle, just wrist, at the height of the keys. There's been books, so many books written about like the precise way that you have to touch the key and drop specifically, and your finger has to be so perfectly shaped. Generally, if you use natural movement and you use these techniques I'm presenting in these videos that are, pretty logical ideas, nothing too fancy, you'll notice that your technique starts to develop in a nice way. Rather than trying to take shortcuts, you're just going to use simple logic, and you're going to use natural movement and ideas like this compact hand and fingers releasing a little bit quicker to get the lightness of the Schubert, rather than killing yourself with only doing metronome work slow to fast. So again, I hope this this type of information is helpful. Nothing fancy, just simple, straightforward stuff. Again, my email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great week.